Hey guys, okay, so I'm going to go over this weekly chart with gold and NAS. Starting on gold, I'm just going to start, let me just see where I can delete this stuff if I have any. Go to the 4-hour time frame. Just delete all this stuff first. Okay, and then let's, as usual, start on Monday. See what transpired on Monday. Okay, so let's delete this. So as always, we go to the 4-hour. We try to find out where price is going. So prior to the New York session, I can see price is bearish. So I go to the 1-hour. I also see price is bearish, right? And then so now I need to look for a sell setup within this area. So I go to the 30-minute because there's nothing on the 1-hour. I don't see anything on the 30. And what I see is price creating a QMR. Right? So you have the high, low, high, high, low, low, price came up and tapped. So as far as the apex goes, I want to share something with you guys. So I like to check the higher time frame because I like to use the higher time frame apex more than the lower time frame. I'll show you what I mean. So this is the 15-minute apex right here. So I go up and you can see the price is right here for the apex, right? So that's on the 30, right? Now I go to the 1 hour. And you can see it's the exact same level, right? It overlaps. So that's what I'm talking about. That's when I would use the apex, because if you don't do that, what may end up happening is, I'll just show you. You may not end up getting filled, and then you lose on this trade, and then price obviously takes off. What you could also do is just wait for another setup within here on the 5-minute time frame. But I'm just showing you kind of how to handle that. Or you can just set, both of them because they're both relatively close together. So you can set both and then just let price determine which one it wants to choose, right? So that's also okay too. But I just wanted to bring that to your attention just in case. So you can use the higher time frame apex, or you can use both alongside with the level if it's like that. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. So, okay, that was on Monday. So let's go back to the 4-hour. Let's take a look and see what happened on Tuesday. Oops. So Tuesday, we can see prices pushing up. Now, you got to keep in mind the context, right? So price is bearish, obviously, right? You can see this entire leg dropped all the way down, right? So price is bearish, basically, right? So, but this leg is in a pullback phase, probably to put in a new lower high. So I would be looking for sells for myself personally. So I go to the 1-hour. Now, this is also very important to show you guys. So prior to the New York session, 7 o'clock closed like this, right? If you see this, price is kind of choppy, moving sideways. For me personally, I don't even bother trading. I just automatically skip it. So to me, Tuesday, I just skipped it because I didn't like the way structure was looking. Obviously, you can look at it on the 1-hour and it looks like it's sideways and choppy, right? So just let's call it sideways. It's not directional. I need price to be directional, right? I need to have price directional. If it's not directional, I can't trade it. So Tuesday was a skip, so that's a day I personally skipped. When I saw that, I was like, nah, it's not worth it. I'll just wait until price makes something better. So now we get to Wednesday, where price is still bearish. Now it looks like we could be at a potential lower high. So I need to just confirm on the 1-hour. So 1-hour, what I noticed prior to the New York session, I was like, oh, okay, price created a QMR, right? And then also had this breakout level here. But where price closed is really important. Price closed all the way down here on this OHLC prior to New York. So it was unrealistic I mean, anything could happen, but for myself, when I was thinking, I was like, I don't think price is going to come up this high. So what you always want to do with, especially with gold, is just focus on the CMP, always the CMP. Forget about stuff that's, really far away. So I go to the 30-minute time frame, right? And I just look for a setup. So personally, I didn't see any setup that formed prior to the New York session. So all I noticed is that price was respecting this level here. This is like as far as price got. That's basically all I was saying to myself. Yes, you could have sold from here, but me personally, I didn't do that. I was more waiting for a better setup. So this day, personally, I didn't take a trade. I just didn't see anything that I liked. But that's basically what ended up happening. So that was Wednesday. Let's go to Thursday. So Thursday, I noticed that price created a breakout. Price is bearish. I'm looking for sells. So I go to the 1 hour. 1 hour is bearish, right? So now I'm looking for sells. So I noticed that there's nothing on the on the 1 hour. I just marked this level here prior to New York, just to kind of see what happens. So there's two things that I noticed. There's an SNRC2. Price pulled up, broke this level support, and came back and went down. So SNRC2 is basically when it breaks two levels of support and then taps on the third. So you got one support broken, right? Two support broken, and then price came back and tapped and went down. So that's an SNRC2, just to make it simplified. I didn't take that. What I was looking at is, because I didn't see that until hindsight, but what I saw for myself was price was creating break and retests, right? So break, pull back, down, right? See break and retest. That's what I was focusing on. So when I saw this on the 30-minute, I was like, okay, price created breakout, pullback entry. I didn't get this one, so I waited for this one. So this is the levels I mark. Breakout, pullback entry, and then price tapped it and then went down. Maybe it's a little clear on the 15, just to show you. So yeah, so 9 o'clock, I think this was the 9 o'clock candle. Yeah, 9 o'clock candle, price tapped and went down. And then that's basically it. You don't need to catch a lot, especially with gold right now, because there's a lot of volatility in the market. So gold moves a lot of points relatively in a short amount of time. But for me personally, that's what I looked at, and that's what I got. Now, if you took this break and retest and you got closing price, unfortunately, the next level is all the way up here. So me personally, that's too far. So what you could do is use the next OHLC, especially if price respected it. So this would be considered the apex instead of this, because just the level is way too far away. So it won't make any sense. So in case that you took this break and retest and you want to set at the apex, but the apex is way too far, in this event you just use the next OHLC or the next breakout, but there's no breakout, so it would be this OHLC level here. So I hope that makes sense. And plus you can see that price confirmed that when closing price already tapped it before New York, so it's a good level to use, especially since price never body closed above this level here, right? You can see all the wicks below it, so that's how you can trust that level to hold. So now let's just reset. That was Thursday. We go to Friday. Friday's a little bit different. So I know price is still bearish, but price is pretty much stalled here. It didn't put in a lower low yet, so it's starting to do another pullback. So I noticed right away price broke out of this area here, and then I'm following price myself. I'm thinking price is bullish, right? So I go to the 1 hour time frame. I look at the 1 hour, I can see price is bullish because it just broke this previous lower high over here. So the 4 hour to me is temporarily bullish because it's in a pullback, and the 1 hour is bullish, so I'm okay to trade this because both of them are temporarily aligned. So now I need to look for a buy setup here, right? So I mark this level here personally because to me I've seen it before, and it looks like it could be used for some kind of significance. So prior to the New York, but before I do that, I'll just kind of show you. Prior to the New York session, I'm noticing prices trending up, right? So I noticed that price is trending up, trending up, trending up. So I know that I'm looking for some type of setup. I don't know what's going to appear, but as soon as this appears, this is the first thing I noticed, right? So what I then notice for myself is that, okay, I'm going to mark this level and this level. And then this level is the next one I would mark as well, because I just don't know where price is going to get to, right? And then so you could wait for closing price. If you notice, this level is just a refinement of this level, and then price never got here or here. But let's just keep this for now, just to kind of show you. So if you don't know where price is going to stop, you just mark the levels and wait for closing price. That's basically the simplest thing I can say. Because, example, if you just say this break and retest, right, and you were waiting for price to get to one of these levels, but you don't realize that price closed at this level, price is never going to come here because it already respected this level. So it's going to go from this area to go up, right? So that's why you got to pay attention to closing price at relevant levels. Now, why did this level get respected and not these down here? You got to go to the higher time frame to figure that out. So I'll show you. Let's go to the 1 hour. It's the same level, right, on the 1 hour. Let's go to the 4 hour. And it's the exact same level as the breakout, right? You can see that. Oops, just mark this. This is the breakout level here on the 4 hour, right? Now I go back to the 30 minute. It's that same level, right? Go back to the 4 hour, just so you can, 1 hour, same level, 4 hour, same level. So they all overlap, right? And on top of that, the 30 minute closed, right? So that's how you can figure that out for yourself. So I hope that makes sense. So now we can go ahead and move on over to NAS. Take a look at NAS, see what happened. So let's go to Monday. NAS is a little bit different than gold. You can't treat NAS the same as gold when it comes to direction, because NAS is different than gold. Price changes direction more quickly on NAS than gold, so you got to really pay attention to the CMP and the location. So as an example, price is right now bearish, right? Obviously it's bearish, but it's at a potential lower low, so I'd be looking for buys. So I'd go to the 1 hour. Basically, I'm looking for buys. I look at the 1 hour. 1 hour is bearish, so I need to see if the 30 or the 15 flip bullish. Yes, it does. See this area flipped, right? First thing I notice on the 30 is that price created a SNRC1. This is a perfect textbook setup of an SNRC1. Now, I go to the 15 minute because I like to see if there's anything else below that, so I'm just going to show you. So I noticed that's the same thing, right? SNRC1. So what I do in this case is I refined it to this rally-based rally, which is a breakout, and I mark this level here. This level down here is way too far away, so I personally I wouldn't have taken that. These are the two levels that I would have used. So again, you can set them at both, or you can wait for closing price. It just depends on you. So as an example, you can see if price respected this level, it didn't get to this one, this could be the one that you take, and then you set a pending order, and then price went up, right? So because I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. If you set a pending order at this SNRC1 here, right, just show you. I'm going to go back to the 15. You can see, right, you would have never gotten filled. So that's why I dropped down one time frame, just to see if there's any roadblock and if there's an overlapping setup, right? That's basically what I'm looking for. I'm looking if there's two conflicting setups in the same area, and if there are, then I'm just going to take these levels and either set pending order at both, set a pending order, or just wait for closing price. It really just depends on your plan and your risk tolerance. But that's basically all I would do. So that was Monday. So let's go back to the 4 hour. Let's take a look and see what happened on Tuesday. So once we get over to Tuesday, remember price is bearish. So now I'm thinking to myself, okay, price is potentially at a lower high, right? You can see this massive shift and then price put in a potential lower high to make another move down. So I'm basically looking for sells on Tuesday. Oops. So I'm looking for sells. What do I notice on the 1 hour? 1 hour is bullish, so I don't see any setup. So I need to drop down to the 30 to the 15. What do I notice on the 30? I don't notice really, honestly, any sell setup that I can visibly see. So I go down to the 15. And then this is where I noticed that there was a QMR, right? So price never pulled back to the QMR, right? So I'm paying attention to the CMP, right? So I'm going to show you what to do in the event that this if you get missed at the actual level, and there is no obvious next level to use. Like, this is all hindsight now, so I can't I can't explain it properly if I do hindsight, right? So I'm just going to show you what I'm talking about. So this would have been the apex, right? Because that's what I would have used. Obviously, I never got filled if I took these levels, right? So that's absolutely fine because I'm staying on the 15-minute and I'm watching and I'm observing. So what I noticed is that price shifted at the 15-minute, right? So what I'm talking about is price shifted because this was the last support, right? As soon as this candle closes and breaks this level, price has shifted bearish. So now I need to flip to the 5-minute time frame to see if there's anything that makes sense, right? So I go to the 5-minute because keep in mind I already missed this all the way up here. I don't even think this would have hit. Let me see. Yeah, that would still be invalid. See, price never got to it. So this is where I shift to the 5-minute, right? And you can see the 5-minute has also shifted and it created an SNRC too. So this would have been a setup to take. I'll just show you what I'm talking about. This level of support got broken, this level of support got broken, and then price came back, right? So two supports get broken and then price returns. That's SNRC2. If you missed that, totally fine. You wait for the break and retest. This is an SNRC1, right? SNRC1, price came back. If you don't see that clearly, you can, obviously there's a break and retest right here with closing price, right? So that would have been valid because you're following price now. You're following the flow. You already know that price wants to go down, right? And you missed the setup up here, so you don't just call it quits. You still need to see how things transpire. As long as the direction, the flow is still intact and the direction is not invalidated, then you continue to trade, right? So this is basically what you would have done. I hope that makes sense. So now we go to the 4 hour. Let's go over to Wednesday. So Wednesday, again, price is bearish. Price was down in this area. I was waiting for a breakout, so I waited for the 8 o'clock candle to close. Price is bearish on the 1 hour bearish, right? But I didn't see any setup on this day. Yeah. There was no setup for me. I didn't see any setup on this day, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah, this was the only thing I saw that I was looking to put pending order at. But then if I remember correctly, it never came back. It never came back after this level here. Yeah. So if you wanted to refine it to this level, you could have. So you use this. This would be the correct area to sell from, and then you would have gotten filled here if you did that. But I didn't do that, so I didn't get filled. But this is all hindsight now, what I would have done. So basically, I marked these two levels here because that's where I was breaking retest, right? I wanted price to come back there. Then drop down one time frame just to see what makes sense. And then I would use these two levels. And then price obviously tapped in, then went down. But this is in hindsight, so I didn't get filled. I'm just letting you know what I would have done moving forward. That's okay. It's totally fine. That was on Wednesday. So now let's go to Thursday, see what happened on Thursday. So Thursday, price is bearish, obviously, right? So I'm looking for sells. 1 hour is bearish. I'm looking for sells. This is hindsight, right? So I would have never guessed this level here because I don't think it had made any sense on the 4 hour. Let me see. Yeah, there's no sense. So I don't think there's any setup on this day if I'm correct. Let me see. Yeah, no setup on this day. That's right. So that was a skip. So let's skip that. That was Thursday. So now we go to Friday. Now Friday's a little bit tricky. I'll just show you. Price is bearish, right? So price is putting in a potential new... Price is potentially putting in a new lower high to go down, right? So right now it's in a pullback phase.